Hello and welcome to this ONUG proof of concept demonstration. My name is David Klebanov and I'm head of product marketing for Alkira. Today, I wanted to talk to you about building a stress-free network for the cloud. Before we dive into more details, I wanted first to set the stage about the drivers for the change that we are seeing all around us. The application landscape is changing, and I think we can all agree to that. And those application landscape changes are really driving the changes in the network and security architecture and requirements. The networking and security hasn't really kept pace and provided the organizations and the enterprises the agility that they would need in order to survive in this cloud era. So with that, I wanted to introduce you to a concept that we call a network cloud. So what is a network cloud? A network cloud is a global unified network infrastructure delivered as a service, much like the cloud itself. Now, the network cloud has three main elements. First, it provides an end-to-end network connectivity for remote users, on-premises sites, such as branch offices, campuses, data centers, and one or many public clouds. Now, the network cloud also comes with an integrated network and security services. We're going to touch on that a little bit later. And thirdly is the entire operational model around full visibility, control, and governance. These are the three main characteristics of the network cloud, and of course, the underlying infrastructure that is delivered as a service and allows the networks and security to be delivered as a service is a fundamental principle behind an Alkira network cloud. So what is an Alkira's version of the network cloud? So what we call a network cloud is an Alkira Cloud Services Exchange, which is the cloud network infrastructure as a service, which, as I mentioned, is an underlying principle that defines the network cloud. To this network infrastructure, all of your on-premise sites are connected into their respective cloud exchange points. Those cloud exchange points are an Alkira-owned, virtualized, in the cloud points of presence. The cloud resources and the cloud workloads are also connected to the respective cloud exchange points. Those are the workloads across many public cloud providers. Now, the SaaS applications that are residing in the internet are also plugged into the Alkira's infrastructure. And the networking and security services that I mentioned earlier are delivered through what we call a network services marketplace that is fully integrated into the Alkira's network cloud. Above all of that is a centralized portal for all the management, operations, troubleshooting, visibility elements of the solution with graphical user interface access for customers and partners and API or Terraform provider access if that is the model that you're choosing to operate the environment. Let me walk you through an actual demonstration and a couple of interesting key use cases that we can identify around networking and security. So the first one is establishing what we call a cloud backbone. So what is a cloud backbone? It is an on-demand global network that is really the foundation for all the connectivity and security needs that enterprises and organizations have. It is global in nature, it's elastic in its capacity because it relies on a public cloud infrastructure, which is nearly infinitely scalable. It offers a high-speed encryption from any point in the network to any point in the network. And what you see in here in this representation is the two Alkira points of presence, what we call an Alkira Cloud Exchange points. Alkira's point of presence are anywhere, can be located anywhere in the world where the cloud infrastructure is present, again, because Alkira leverages the vast public cloud infrastructure to establish a networking foundation that you can leverage for your network and security needs. The end-to-end segmentation is integrated as part of the global cloud backbone. We're going to touch on that a little bit later. And the entire backbone in an entire service is backed up with high availability and service SLAs. So as you can see, this global cloud backbone is really the foundational connectivity element that allows enterprises and organizations to establish their global network footprint with zero investment in hardware, zero investment in additional software, and zero learning skills that need to be acquired from the cloud networking standpoint. The next case I wanted to talk to you about is the cloud networking. Obviously, we have talked about in the beginning how cloud is becoming an extremely prominent or plays an extremely prominent role in enterprise and organizations of all sizes deployments, right? So what you can see in here is a cloud networking presence or a cloud workloads presence across three major cloud providers: AWS, Microsoft Azure, and GCP. Those workloads are plugged into the respective Alkira cloud exchange points, and that allows a global connectivity footprint across all of those workloads. These workloads can be residing across multiple clouds, as this screenshot depicts, but it can also reside within a single cloud and even further within a single region of the cloud. So the solution for cloud networking really allows flexibility of all the way from connecting from single cloud, single region, to single cloud, multi-region, to multi-cloud deployments. We touched upon the topic of a segmentation before. Segmentation is a very important concept. Segmentation is fully integrated into the Alkira solution. In case of the cloud networking, all of the cloud workloads can be segmented into their respective segments, and the communication across the segments is disallowed unless policies are created to allow this communication to occur to things like shared services. And in that case, a firewall can also be inserted to protect that communication. The other case that I wanted to talk about is an internet access. Many times, those cloud workloads require internet access in order to provide for their operation, such as operating system updates or pulling from code repositories or whatever needs are to access the internet resources from the cloud. So how is it accommodated? Internet is plugged into the Alkira cloud exchange points, just like the workloads themselves. It is regionalized, and in this case, you can see that internet exit points exist for both one of the CXPs or cloud exchange points and the other cloud exchange point. The optimality of this connectivity comes from the fact is that every single workload has an optimal path to the internet through their attachment point to the Alkira infrastructure. So the same cloud exchange point where the workload is connected is also providing a secure connectivity into the internet. There is no more backhauling of internet traffic to a data center, regional hubs, or a co-location facility. And at the end, the segmentation plays a pivotal role in internet access as well. The internet access is segmented, and multiple segments can be routed to different internet exit points. Right in the beginning, I mentioned what is called a network services marketplace. It is the ability for Alkira to deliver this network and security services, and the next generation firewall being the most popular service out of this selection. These services are selected from the marketplace and they deployed on the Alkira solution. Alkira fully automates this deployment and the lifecycle management of this service. Imagine firewalls or next generation firewalls that can be rolled out in your deployment and located within the Alkira cloud exchange points, and the entire auto-scaling, provisioning, lifecycle management of that firewall is completely taken care of by Alkira. So is the steering of the traffic, which is a very tough challenge to overcome, especially when you're talking about stateful security services that require bidirectional symmetry for their traffic flow. Now, identifying the traffic that is sent to the firewall is done through an intent-based policies. Now, intent-based policies allow you to select the traffic of interest that you would like to be forwarded to those network services. In this particular case, it is a next generation firewall. As I mentioned, the traffic is symmetrically steered to those firewalls, and the firewalls auto-scale based on real-time capacity demand. You can easily create these policies within the Alkira graphical user interface. You can also really easily visualize those policies to see the impact that these policies have on your deployment. In this particular case, you can see that certain AWS VPCs and GCP VPCs and Microsoft Azure VNets are sent to the firewalls for inspection. Now, we talked a lot about the cloud, and we know that cloud is where a lot of the interest is. But what about things that are connecting to the cloud? This counts for the on-premise connectivity. This on-premise connectivity could be for the purposes of connecting to the cloud workloads, but at the same time, it can also be for the purpose of wide area network connectivity between different on-premise sites, such as branch locations, campuses, data centers, and whatnot. There's multiple connectivity methods that Alkira supports for this wide area network access. Primarily, we're seeing customers leveraging IPsec connectors and SD-WAN connectors for those customers who have deployed SD-WAN in their environments. The access is highly available, and on the Alkira side, Alkira Cloud Exchange points are highly available, resilient, and can accommodate redundant connections from the on-premise devices, such as on-premise routers. The end-to-end segmentation, just like the case with the cloud, is fully integrated into the wide area network. All the resources living off the cloud on-prem can be segmented into their own respective segments, and communication can be divided like that. So segmentation extends both within the cloud, within the on-premise locations, and the communication between the on-premise locations and the cloud, a truly end-to-end segmentation. Now, nobody starts from scratch. We all realize that before this new architecture is put in place, there is a certain network and security already within the environment. So wide area networking provides for full brownfield interoperability with existing environments. And to make that interoperability efficient, Alkira supports advanced traffic policies in order to govern traffic routing between the previous environment and the environment that is built on an Alkira solution. The next topic is that I wanted to touch on is zero trust network access. We all realize that the days of remote access VPNs are behind us. With the global pandemic that we're all going through, everybody's forced to work remotely. How do we actually make sure that this remote connectivity is done in the most effective and secure way? Alkira offers the zero trust approach for network access. The connectivity between the users into the Alkira's infrastructure is done in a geographically distributed manner. What you can see in this diagram is, in fact, two locations with their own respective zero trust network access connectors that allow two types of users to connect. You can see the employees and you can see partners. Two types of users can be connecting anywhere geographically. Once connected, they are associated with their own specific user group to enforce segmentation policies and possibly firewall inspection. This is a very scalable and a very effective method to onboard all of your remote workers, partners, or anybody who requires remote connectivity into your on-premises data centers, into your cloud data centers. Anything that we talked about before is now extended with connectivity to the remote users. And lastly, let's not forget about operations. The network is incomplete without full transparency. Alkira offers a full set of operational toolset in order for the IT teams to be efficient in driving their new networking environment built on an Alkira solution. This includes elements such as application visibility, infrastructure visibility and health, monitoring, troubleshooting, alerting, all the elements that you would expect from a full-featured network solution. Nothing is hidden from you. Everything is available. The operation is extremely simplified. And as I mentioned way in the beginning, is for those of you who would like to drive this environment in a more programmatic way, a rich set of REST APIs and a Terraform provider is available for that purpose. For the next step, I would like to encourage you to go to an alkira.com website and learn more. If you would like to sign up for your own personalized demo, I invite you to go to alkira.com/demo, fill out the form, and experience the power of Alkira. And for those of you who would like to learn the experience that other customers have had with deploying Alkira, I invite you to read a case study, and that is available at a short link, bit.ly/coke-case study. That concludes our presentation. Come visit us at our ONAC booth and talk to one of our cloud networking specialists. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. Have a great day.